Hello, I have stolen your face, and if you must know, I did it while you slept. I've lived millions of years, and I've never seen a face like yours. So polished, mesmerizing, perfect. And in my honest opinion, you did not deserve it. You humans call me Jester, God of Faces, because I wanted you to know that I am the one who took it from you. And I hope that one day you'll see this as a good thing. However, if you have the foolish notion of trying to get it back, then I invite you to discover the most important words a man can say and come and find me. I'll show you a god's hospitality. Imagine for a moment you wake up in your castle bedroom. What a strange dream you think as you rise and prepare for the day. The servants knock at your door and you allow them in, but something's wrong. You knew something was wrong when they stayed at the door instead of walking in to serve you your tea. But still, you try to act normal. They scream, "Monster," they cry as they call for the guards, and you protest, but they won't have it. They can't even look at your face. Your face. You think back on that dream. There's no way. You run to the mirror, but the guards catch you before you can see, and you are arrested, blamed for the disappearance of the king, for the murder of the king, and taken to the dungeons to await trial. You look up from the dungeon floor at your reflection in the wall, and indeed, it was no dream. You have no face. Your face is not there. You can still see, smell, hear, but your face is blank. You sigh, a rage brews up. How dare that insignificant B-rate god smite you for its pleasure? No, that won't do. You'll find this jester, this joke of a god, and show him the king's hospitality. Trial comes quick, and you are paraded through the city streets in chains. Kingslayer, they shout at you. Monster, they cry. You reach the judgment grounds, and the city looks down on you from above, sneering, glaring. Your people, blaming you for the murder of their king. You're right in front of them. How can they not see? When will this nightmare end? The High Warden walks up to you and glares as he sentences you. You are to be banished to the wilds, never to be seen again. You look over them, your own subjects. They should be on their knees. Do they not recognize their king, even without his face? Do they not see your splendor, your aura? The carriage drops you off at the edge of the forest, in a ragged shirt and broken chains. It appears that your aura is not enough. You look over your belongings. A small pack of a day's rations, a wooden stick, and a quill, along with some rough blank pages. How kind of them, you think, as you slump in the forest, and tears start to well up. Your life, everything you knew, is over. You cared for this kingdom, genuinely wanted to see it succeed, to see its people fed and cared for, but now, no one cares. No one remembers. You stare at the ink quill in the pack, and you sigh as you take the quill and write on the page, "My name is Vaz, the rightful king of Solace, and this is my story." You look into the campfire at night. It's been 6 weeks since you were banished, and hunting rabbits won't last you much longer. You stare at the fire, and inside it you see your castle, your people, your kingdom. Then, the flames flicker, and all is lost. You sigh, when you hear it, the branches splitting. Your eyes perk up. That sound means one of two things. Either your dinner, or your dinner. Which is it? The child's face answers your question, small and pale. "Who are you?" you ask the poor girl, and she runs off. You stand to follow her, and as you give chase, you think to yourself, chasing a young girl in the woods, how far you've fallen. Of course she would run from you. You have no face. You're a monster. But what if she's in danger? What if she needs your help? You're interrupted by the sight of a celebration. A small town in the woods. Cheering, you dust yourself off and put on a straw hat to hide your face and walk up to meet them. What's so exciting, you ask a stranger. The king, they shout. The king is dead. Your face drops. Which king? Surely not. King Vaz, of course. The wicked, tyrant king of Solace. Tyrant king. Well, that sounds like a stretch. The wicked, evil, disgusting king who's ruined us for the last decade. Ah, yes, you say, I hate him as well. But what did he do? The man sneers. Nothing. Nothing at all. He sends us no soldiers for protection, no food in the winter, no help at all. You frown. You've never even heard of this town, and yet they were depending on you, and you failed them. Could you tell me more? You ask him. Where am I? He smiles back. This is Whiterun, a small village in the wilds. We aren't the richest or the brightest, but with the king dead, a lot of us are moving back to Solace to escape the eclipse. The eclipse, you ask? The eclipse, he responds. Some say it happens once the stars are aligned in a certain order. Others say when we've angered the gods. Regardless, it's the moment when the moon turns red, and with it come terrors from the beyond, from the void. Unknown creatures against which there is no battle, no combat, only the mercy of death. It wasn't supposed to happen in our lifetime. Someone must have done something. He looks right at you. As you look into the sky, at the moon. Why have I never heard of this before? Where are you from, traveler? Solace. The capital? You nod. Those strong walls protected you. For you, the eclipse would have been something festive, something to celebrate, a shiny red moon in the stars. But for us on the outskirts, it meant death in all manner of ways. Who knew a time for celebration in the capital would be so gruesome for many? You look away to spot a group of carriages. They are indeed leaving, but not everyone. What about those people? You ask as you point to them. The people with no families around them, no carriages or horses, nothing. Oh, he frowns. They are the ones who are staying. He smiles as he waves to you and leaves you, and you're left there, watching the poor sods, no family to leave with, no carriage to take them anywhere, the ones who remain. As the townspeople leave, and you watch their carriages descend the horizon towards Solace, you are left alone in the now empty town, along with 5 other people, the ones who remained, mostly children, aged from 5 to 11, and among them you see the girl from the forest, the one who saw your real face. What are your names, you ask them, and they reply, Lynn, Esme, Lucas, Trill. And you turn to the young girl from the forest. Corinna, she replies, and you nod and look at their faces. Well, Lynn, Esme, Lucas, Trill, Corinna, do you want to die in 5 days? They shake their heads, and you nod, then listen to the words I say. You wait for a moment, and add something else. And never touch my straw hat. We'll start training in the morning. Why? You turn to Corinna, who looks at you. It's best. Is it because you're a monster? She asks you. You stop. No, I'm a human, an ugly one, she told us about you. Well, beauty is subjective, and not yours, Esme smiles. And they laugh. That night, you make a campfire in the town, and sit across from the children. And as they sleep, you write in your book the story of how you met them, of what you must now do. You sigh. This is going to be hard. You start them on sprints, teach them how to use the sword, the bow, the axe. Daily swims for endurance, fortify the town walls, place traps in the forest, day after day after day. And in the nights, you read about them, the void creatures of the eclipse. They are said to be colossal, horned entities with a mischievous intuition for battle and a keen smell for innocent blood. They prowl the earth during the eclipse, trying to find sacrifices for their forgotten god. omen, but they will find none here. You meet the kids by the campfire and laugh with them as Esme tells you of her life as a farmhand, Lucas as a baker's boy, Lynn and Trill, the sibling slaves, and Corinna, the runt of the litter. No one knows who she is or where she's from really. She just turned up one day and they started taking care of her. You write it with your quill, not the story of Vaz, the tyrant king, but Vaz, the one who remained, and the man who aimed the impossible, who sought to protect the outcasts from the void creatures of the beyond. It's a calm night when the moon turns red. You stare at the forest from the top of your fort and call out orders for the children. Man the catapults, bar the wall, hold your ground. The voidlings materialize then, and the novels do not do them justice. Horns like spears, shoulders thick as trees, and malevolent eyes. Eyes trained right on you, but you're ready. To battle you shout as they take on the fort's walls. You grip your spear, leap over the wall, and take on the beasts. You don't remember much from your days as a royal anymore. You remember this art of war, this song of steel. You lay waste to the beasts from behind the wall, smashing horns against trees, and striking the demons with the full weight of Castleforge swordsmanship. You've never fought this hard in all your years, and you're beginning to understand why. You exile the beasts to the realm of death, and the children support you with arrows and rocks from above the wall. The first wave passes, and you resist them, and the next, and the next. But as you fight, you realize it. You can't stay here. The wall is already crumbling, and it will not hold much longer. The best bet you have is to make it to North Bay, the closest town with walls, and pray they can save you. And so you beckon the children to pack their things as you fight, and you run for your life. You tell the kids to keep running when they stop behind you, and scream at them when they do not obey. Look at them with the emptiness of your face. Run, you shout, trying to scare them, and they remain. We won't leave you here, Corinna says, and a tear wells in your eye. Please, you ask, let me do this for you. You look to Corinna, begging, and she looks back at you. You have to win. You have to come back to us. Then she nods and runs, and they follow her, and you sigh. Finally, you grip the sword in your hand and look off at the approaching abominations, hungry beings of evil intent on slaying your people. You hold that sword tighter and finally understand what it is that you've been missing, what it is that you've lacked all this time. One does not need a face to rule, nor a crown. You raise the sword in front of you and think back on the years you've spent behind the safety of castle walls. They deserve the same, and you will provide it. You will be their wall and die here today as their shield in the darkness. The approaching creatures stop when they see you waiting for them, and a truly abominable void creature steps out from among them. It must be their general. It hulks like a mountain, with shoulders like icebergs and eyes sharp as a dragon fang. Eyes trained on you. Your armor falls off, broken, and as if out of respect, the Void General takes off its own armor and stares down at you. None will interrupt you both. This final dance is yours alone, your final chapter, but you will not sit quietly. You are the fallen King of Solace, protector of those who remain. And as you've written the account of your new life in those rough pages, you will not stop here. This is your story. Your sword is your pen, and you will write the ending. The Void General darts at you with the speed of an ember, and you embrace in its deadly waltz. It matches you sword for sword, blow for blow. Its slumbering body does not slow it down, and with the speed of a gazelle it leaps from blow to blow, weaving together sword forms like webs of silk, webs in which you are trapped. You endeavor to make up for the size difference, but it is both faster, stronger, and more conniving than anything you've ever faced before. It is better, and you know it. And when you fall for its fate, you know the end is near. It shoves you to the floor with its hunkering sword, and you look up at the bleeding moon, think upon your life, a life well lived. And when a sword replaces the moon above you and hangs above your head, you accept it, the life of a king. You close your eyes, thinking first of the children, then of the moment you lost your face and what the gods said to you in that dream. Find the most important words a man can say, and as you die there, you think about them. The most important words you couldn't know, but as the sword falls, the only words that come to mind are the words that have guided you to this moment, from the ignorant tyrant king to the protector of men. You take a breath. I want to change. Time stops, and the sword freezes above you, inches from your skull. Hello there, You recognize a familiar god of faces, a many-headed, slithering beast covered in faces, thousands of faces, and you look at it as it watches you. It seems you found your words. You could almost laugh. Why are you here, you ask him, and he laughs. Don't you want your face back? What good would that do me? Leave me, you worthless god. And he smiles. You forget, dear child, I'm the god of all faces, not simply yours. The voice gets closer. Which would you like? You think for a moment, then your eyes alight in a smile. Make me a void creature. You awaken anew, like they thought of you. The Void General's eyes light in fear as your body starts to change. No longer the small, meager human, but the powerful, void entity. A match in size, a match in strength. Fang meets fang in the whirlwind of death. There is no blade craft, footwork, fancy steps and daisy riposts. You are gladiators, and the world is your arena. You bite his leg, kick his lungs, claw his mouth and scratch out his eyes. You and the Void General engage in a blinding battle of fury, testing your mettle. You match claw with claw, and grow stronger with every second of this experience. This unending rush of power inside you. None will quell this wrath. None will go beyond this line you've drawn. None will harm your children. When the sun breaks through, and you lay down beside the corpse of the Void General and his men, the sun forms a circle above your head, a trick of the light, no doubt, but a crown all the same. All you can do is pray. It's been little over a day since you and the others ran away from the monsters, but you trust in him. You have faith that he'll come back to you. You look over the walls at North Bay, and you and the other children hold your breath when a figure approaches through the trees. A lumbering, void creature with evil eyes. One of their generals. You prepare for battle and call the alarms, but then you realize it. It's alone instead of with an army. And that's not all. There's something about the way it walks, the way it holds itself up. That creature is not an evil one. You're sure of it. Regardless of the form it's taken, you know that feeling anywhere. The intrinsic feeling of being safe, the feeling that you felt first in the forest, and feel again now. That creature is not your enemy, regardless of face, no matter its form. That creature is your shield in the darkness, your refuge in the void, your king. Please make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed the story, because a lot of you aren't subscribed, and that would really help the channel. And by the way, I started a Patreon, so please check it out for my scripts, or simply to support the channel so I can make more videos more frequently and at a higher quality. Also, join the Discord, we have fun there.